So I'd like to welcome Christa. Christa came to the Valley in 1990, and she's going to share a little bit about her story about aging in Valemount. And then she's going to talk to us about Nordic Walking, among other things, she said. So, and I'm just going to stand close by for interpretation for her if she's struggling with some of the questions or anything. So thank you, Christa.
Thank you very much. Is that okay? I have not experienced. It sounds okay. Thank you very much for inviting me to be a guest speaker about Nordic Walking. I should first introduce myself about walking. So, yeah, walking. Walking was my life. Actually, it's difficult when I tell you that my walking started 1945. I feel it's not good talking about it, but my walking started January 45. I walked all February. It was the 22nd of January we started walking. The book is there with a picture. We walked then all February, all March, and it was winter and cold, picked up the weather in March. Okay, that is the first story. And I should talk about Nordic Walking. I should start, I'm a physio, I'm a German physiotherapist. I was trained in Berlin. Had 1 year in Great Britain to fulfill my papers. My normal plan was to become a stewardess, but then I ended up not flying, but I ended behind the cooking pots with a family and children. 2 sons, one lives in Saskatchewan with my 2 grandchildren, and the other one lives in Germany, in the Alps, in the Allgäu, with 3 grandchildren. And lifelong, actually, I was working physiotherapy concerned. I started first, after I came back from England, I started in a hospital, quite normal, physio, okay. So I was on the orthopedic ward. After operations of hip and backs, I had to look after patients. And as well, I was on the wards where all the young guys, after accidents, ended up. And no matter what I trained with them, my main idea was isometric tension. You can't train a back or a leg without telling people tighten up here. And I became my best listener. I always, while teaching and telling and treating, I tied up and aligned. Okay, I found out after a while that's not my thing, and the other thing was people like to talk their stories, tell me their stories. I like to listen, I like to give advice, but I wanted to teach people to be more fast out of the hospital. And so I started 70. I was asked if I would have interest teaching at the Volkshochschule. It's a very advanced learning center in Germany. I started with classes, exercise programs, but always physio-based. It was really wonderful, but I had to quit 98 because we had, you heard it already, 90 bought that property down Leona Creek, And I couldn't be as much as my husband was here. I always had to watch the school holidays. Okay, and then now it comes to Nordic Walking. I started Nordic Walking in Dunster and McBride here in Canada. And that was when I got hold, I had to order poles. And there are still very, very few left. It was really great. Telling people not only how to walk, and again, my beloved, or how shall I say, my middle, my center of the idea, not only walk, but Nordic walking needs a lot of tension, alignment, and needs arm swings, and it needs long strides, which might keep people more vivid and flexible concerning joints. Elasticity is kept up concerning your muscles, and of course posture. It's posture. It's the shoulder girdle muscles are important. Loose shoulders, no pains, and long strides, less pain or no pain at all. And in between, I started to, I was asked by my members from Dunster and McBride, I started with classes involving all of this. In McBride I had classes in Dunster and in the hall, and here I started later, but then kind of I don't know, I have no more classes. Once in a while I do Nordic walking. So, life is like riding a bike, that's Einstein. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. As I told you before, moving involves flexibility and muscle balance. And then there is the other balance. The balance equilibrium, not getting dizzy when getting up and walking straight, not feeling unhappy. And there is a program. I will show, we can do it together. I am in a book that is in German. It's called Balance Training for Adults. She is a teacher and she started in schools because she was teaching more handicapped children and found out, no matter if they are handicapped or totally okay, when they had the first examination before they started school, many children were not able to be on one leg. And that gave her the idea to build up a training, to create a training. And then she made for adults a training how to keep your balance lifelong, no matter how old you are. And all of this, what I'm teaching, involves, I took a license to become a back teacher. That was 90. The Nordic walking, it came to Germany around 2000. I had a friend, she was so enthusiastic, she walked and always wanted to talk me into it. I thought, oh, I walk. But finally I tried it and I found out, oh, that is it. Because the long stride, and you kind of automatically, you are straighter than with normal walking. And before, the education, back education means no matter if I bend down to pick this up, or if I lift something, it is a training. You first think, stabilize, and then you bend and you kind of align, center your spine. Center, stabilize, align. That's my slogan when I have the classes here. I nearly forgot now. I'm a bit nervous. I should make a break and ask you. It's always better. Asking questions is so important. Where's Kim? Help. If somebody has a question. Before I go on, always talking is no good. Nobody has a question for heaven's sake. Don't leave me alone. No
That's
question.
okay. Maybe, could you do a demo for us?
What?
Could you do like a demonstration?
And now the Nordic Walking.
Perfect.
Yeah, I did everything once. Now
Okay.
Nordic Walking.
Great.
I have to put that away. And you can also have a demonstration of this here. That is, I'm on the balancing thing. I brought it along. The drugstore, they bought it. They have it in stock. She asked me about what is important to buy. And this here, it's interesting. I can't read. It's the latest research about last year about the importance, I read the headline, walk faster, live longer, leg movement key for brain health. And that's what I cut and use. And so, good, now the demo. Okay. There are two things you can do with those poles. You can use them for more stability. I read an article from physios in Vancouver, and they used it for their patients. Instead of going behind a rollator, they told them to go, you know, in winter I do, when I walk the Bigfoot trail, and probably it's not quite clean, instead of going like this, that is the normal slide. I go slippery surface, I switch over and go like this. You know what? I just have an idea what we could do. You can get up or sit. I show you what I mean. My main idea is learn and practice isometric tension. That means center, a focus, center, stabilize, align. That means you feel screen to sky. Yeah, Lawrence, pulling her hand. Yeah. Now ask a question. Could you imagine going like this in winter? Now, if you win the polls, what will you do? And very important as well, once in a while, let loose. I do some stretching. Of course, I count to about 10. All sides, hip, keep your hips flexible. And I do this wonderful rolling down. In one of the classes here in the Learning Center, we did it, and Karen, she had a stopwatch, because in Qigong classes, I was told people do it for 4 minutes rolling down and rolling up. And I never really watched. She had the baby and sat with the time. Oh, boy, 4 minutes rolling, but it's so good for your spine if you have a problem. So I learn. I really am always interested in what people tell me. I learned very, very many things. And the long strides mean you keep your hip muscles, one side strong, the other side hip front elastic, and it helps not to have pain in your hips. Shall I tell you or not? Now it gets personal. But I didn't know. My last result in Germany, when I got the whole stuff in, when was it, May this year, I read, I thought that can't be true. There I read left side arthrosis, right side is strong, heavy, I don't know, I forgot that word, a bad arthrosis. So sometimes I thought, oh, my right side feels a bit funny, and I picked up a program, I did more stretching, and I did more tightening. And right now it's quite okay. I don't feel anything. And so I learned arthrosis means I have arthrosis in my fingers. Since '98, they look crippled. And often people say to me here, oh, Christa, you have arthritis. I talked to Dr. Markham about it. I said, they say I have arthritis, but I have only arthrosis. Itis means, it's from Latin, isn't it? It means you have an inflammation in whatever joint. So, I have really no arthritis. I'm quite happy. Shouldn't you ask me something? Oh boy.
I would just like to see you demonstrate some of the movements slowly. Like often when people use walking sticks.
I go very slowly.
And the correct way.
Yeah.
Show us the
very
correct...
slowly, slow motion. Thank you. I need somebody like that. I got it. And then I show you what to do for your shoulder burden. I have shoes. It's better if they are closed. It looks easy, but I tell you it's not easy. I struggled. I learned it, I think, 05. It took me a long time to really learn it. And they have little tips. I have the booties on because I walk in Valemount, and I don't want always booties on booties because they are very sharp. They make clack, clack, you know? And so therefore I can't really do. It's easier when it grips, then you can really push. Now I have to be careful, it slips. Yeah, Laurel, is that okay? It is like this. Children learn fast. I had a young lady, she learned fast, but she is in the business like this. Normally it's not very, I can't slow, then I get muddled up. And I need my rucksack. Yeah, so that are the long strides. It keeps your hip flexors. Hip flexors stay elastic. Your hip joints stay flexible. Elasticity and strength. Here the strength and here the elasticity improves hip movement, whatever. That's the hips. And now the shoulders. What I do, that's my problem. I was burdened lifelong with things. Yeah, and then you sink down. I was burdened. Yeah, okay, I always did that spine alignment, and last year, because of my driver's license, I ended up with Dr. Keter. You know how that works. And then he had to take a measure. You know that thing. Oh, I said, now I am just Mr. and Mrs. XY. I was just leaning against it. So, and now my program. And then I was really 2 centimeters, I only go with centimeters, taller. I'm still like I was, 1 meter, 70 centimeters. Because you all know, you read it, one shrinks when getting older. I'm so far happy. This year I haven't checked, but I hope I'm still around 170. Yeah. Now a question, please.
I have a question. There's a question back.
Do you understand what I tell you?
Christa, behind you.
Oh, there. Hi, Christa.
I'm coming. Yes. See, then I have no problem.
So, Christa, I have a friend who is, or someone acquainted to me very closely, who's getting older. And when she walks, she's not aligned, and she doesn't lift her feet. And that seems to be a struggle for her because now she's tripping. Naturally she is just shuffling. Shuffling.
That's it, yeah.
So will this help her to pick up her feet and
but not
align?
Yeah, not the Nordic Walking side. I would probably like this. Oh, yeah, big age. How old is she?
Almost 70.
Almost 70.
So young. So can you give me a demonstration? She has poles to walk. How she should walk with her poles if she shuffles.
Yeah, what poles does she have? Wonderful question. See, there are so many things involved with that Nordic walking. Also, this is a special style. Finland, from Finland. I got to know about Finland poles when I took the class, when I made my license. They are very light and strong, and even they break. And they have to have the right height. You measure, you take a pole, I still have some. You hold it like this, and this part, the thumb, has to meet your navel. Most poles, when I walk to Kinney Lake, I haven't tried this year. People have high poles. I couldn't create the tension. So, but that's modern to have hiking poles when one hikes. I always take these. I love to hike up to the bicycle parking lot. I learned from 30 on, your muscles alter. Now I read an article, muscles alter earlier, 25 starts. Starting at 25 years old. And the reason is people sit too much. Now I wonder what will happen when the generation comes to, let's say, in the 40s, who is now brought up with little machineries. I wonder. Muscles don't forgive, I think. Okay, from 40 on, research base, everybody loses 4% of muscle mass. From 50 on, from 60 on, 6% per decade muscle mass. And then this is Professor Wollmann, Karlsruhe, Heidelberg, Germany. He didn't do research that direction. The research he did then, he had, I wonder why, he had a group of elderly and with them he did a training. One of his training was running upstairs and walking, and really he found out there is always hope, you can improve your muscles. So that's in my booklet. I have this research, and I mention other authors with all kinds of relaxation and healthy stuff. No, another thing. If you watch television, I don't know if, everybody watches. I watch and read lots of German papers. And it was obvious, Mrs. Merkel, if she sits or stands, she has her hands like that. And then the journalists were talking, what's the matter with her? Is she in a conspiracy group? Always like that. And one day, here I have it. Some journalist, she said, Mrs. Merkel, I have a question. Why are you always like that? Oh, she said, easy. It's good for my back. I wonder, it's really, you should try out. You feel, you sit different. You press the fingertips together. I was sitting there. I was never in a conference, so I really had the chance to finding out. I sat there. Really, my shoulder girdle is more straight. I feel better, more stiff. So you can find out. No, I don't want you. We are not in school today. We are off. Except you have to listen to me. What else? You know, I'm drop line, you know? Do you have a English drop line? Drop line?
Any Germans?
I am so involved in all of this. I miss the most important things.
What about this? Blue thing, what's that all
I
about?
will demonstrate
Okay.
the ball.
Sure.
That'd be great. Get rid of my. No, I wanted to show you the shoulder. That was okay. After my walking, or while I walk, I'm highly handicapped. Believe it or not. Do you want how much muscles I lost? No. Okay, then I'm standing down Dogwood, where the new subdivision starts. My left leg is back. And I feel a wonderful stretch from Achilles tendon to knee. I do it fast. I normally 10 seconds. Then the right knee. Then I do this, thumb up here. That's easy. And then comes the alignment stretch. I always tell people, point with your butts to the distance, right, left side. And then you straighten your spine. Then comes the insides, and then for the shoulders, just angle like this, loose knees, and then sides. Because I started to develop shoulder problems. Too much sorrows, always like this, and so afterwards fine. And Achilles tendons, I do as well. Then I look for some uneven ground where I walk. That you can do it with a stair. When people were in my class, we did it with the stairs in the stirrup. Bring your heel down, because your back starts in your heels. When you're in the Achilles tendon, when they get short, the whole muscle balance gets out of order, and you have more stress on your back. And backache, I had back, I had everything, I don't know. Arthrosis here and here. No, this we had never x-rayed, but here. Because this, I did, I have exercises which help. As soon, these muscles, do I have them here somewhere? No anatomy, just a little. These muscles are stress related, you can't regulate them. When you are in stress, when I'm in stress, I feel it here, but fast I do this. 10 seconds or longer, and stabilize when doing it. not just do it. No, first center stabilizer line and then come the exercise. Yeah. Yeah. And we should do now, not that I forget, you can do it sitting. We do it sitting. That is now concerning the balance. I have found out that friends, even the droopy eyelid. Do you have somebody with a droopy eyelid around in the family? Yeah, it's bad. It goes down and then you get an operation. That's the only way out. I told a patient, I have no patients, clients. I told him, he told me, I'm scheduled sometime I get a call and then I have my right, it was right side, my right eyelid operated. Okay, I said, are you interested? I'll show you something. We can try out. And he really did it. So all you have to do, my program is from soul to scalp. Oh, we forget about the soul. Just sit and lift the whole scalp. Yeah? You can you wobble your ears up and down, wobble or whatever. Yeah, and then you feel everything comes up and you hold isometric tension. Has to be 6 seconds, can be 10 seconds, and you even can pretend you pulled something or push something. That is fortified isometric tension, then you have even more out of the exercise. Yeah. So now comes the balance. Or shall I be standing? You will do it. You can tell others. It's very, very slow move. That is the lady's book, that yellow, it's in German. Very slow moves. This is 0, I think I will be standing. This is 0. Left side 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up, middle, down, middle. And then I finally looked again to my other program, Lian Kung. I once had a seminar in Gießen in the university, learning about the training done by the Chinese in the mornings. What do Chinese? They go to the park and they do wonderful exercise. You have seen it. And I think when you watch Chinese people, they are all straight because they are brought up with these exercises. And now that I looked last year, I thought, wow, is really our how to get rid of dizziness. Where shall I be? Here? Can you see me? Would you please sit? Now we really do an exercise, if you want or not. Be so kind, please. I show you how to sit. It's not just sitting. You sit more here and so. Hands, have your hands here. Try to have them hip wide apart. Now I'm in a class with you. But I can't do it half. I have to be, when I show something, it has to be okay. I'm better standing. He has his hands here, you have yours on your knee. And now, really very, very slowly. 0, slowly to the left side, turn first. Very slowly, turn your head to the left side. Breath comes and goes. Very, very slowly. Breath comes and goes. You are aligned. And very slowly you come to the end of the left side and slowly go back again.
Breath comes and goes. There's no need to be fast. Very, very slowly you are aligned. You sit straight. Slowly you come to the middle position. And very, very slowly turn to the right side. Breath comes and goes. You turn, still turn. There is no need for hurry. And you slowly come to the end position and slowly go back to zero. Very slowly. You are aligned. That is really important. Slowly come to the middle position. Zero, and now we go slowly up, middle, down, middle. Okay, zero, slowly move your head up. Very, very slowly move it up. Breath comes and goes. Slowly move up. You are aligned. No stress. It's just a very gentle move upwards. Very, very slowly come back to the middle. Breath comes and goes. Slowly approach the middle. And now comes number 2. Slowly bring your chin towards your breastbone, very, very slowly. Don't forget to breathe. Breath comes and goes. You come finally with your chin towards your breastbone. You feel a nice move in your spine. And when you are done, you slowly try to come back again. Breath comes and goes. Move slowly. And you approach number 0. And you look straight. Thank you very much. And to finish the droopy eyelid, this special person got a phone call. It was September. I think it will be 2 years. It was 2 years this year. Got a phone call, can come to the operation, and he said, thank you, my eye is open just perfect. What you can do, just focusing and move your muscles, even here. So now, please, a question. Did you really understand me without a microphone? I forgot. Okay, then you can still ask questions. I think, yeah, here I don't know. It's my learning, here's some. One thing I should say, mention. I'm often the one posters on the table, I think. I often am asked, oh, you do yoga. It's true, it looks like yoga, but please, it is not yoga, because you really have to focus. Imagine when you want to train your hip for flexibility, you really have to think about your hip. You can't meditate, you really have to go, how far can I go? And that is the difference. And I have that alignment included. I had a yoga teacher. She thought it is a good idea to tell her clients, because you know what my idea is, when Chinese and all the Asians developed these programs. Imagine in those ancient years, these people were walking from morning to evening. Even I was brought up walking beside the wall, like we always walk. And then you develop a different muscle system. And I think here is the basis for that's my understanding. Because I was involved in the war, we had to run to walk. Always looking after the horses. They were more important than people. And yeah, so I was brought up quite fit. But last year I had a friend here in Canada. It's North America, more in alternative and more thinking, research-based, a bit different. So about the post-traumatic stress syndrome, there is one doctor doing lots of research. He, actually a German, Dr. Dietrich Klinghardt, he moved to United States. I think he is in Seattle, as well in Fribourg in Schwarzwald. And his saying is, when people experience bad things when they were young, when they get older, they might develop a problem. Okay, I can handle the problem because I was brought up with isometric tension, started in Berlin 55 when I started my physio education training. Thank you very much. And if you have a question, anyhow, I like to talk to you and have a great afternoon.
Thank you, Christa. So we're just going to...
It doesn't work with shoes. And another thing I found out, I always tie my shoes by rolling down. I'm always offered a chair. Oh no, with this, I have to take off with these socks, with that stockings, no good, you know, it's too slippery. And I warn you, with socks, no good. No good. Yeah, then you can do your phone calls, whatever you want. Be standing here, and yeah. Left side, right side. More in the middle. Yeah. I was here. No, I don't need. Chair, please always have, when trying to be in balance on one leg or so, always try to be close to a wall. So that's my bad leg, but I still made it big. So then you can bounce whatever, left side, right side. Phone call, stir the soup. Yeah, one forgets all that. I tell you, really, to make a program, otherwise, there are so many things happening. And what I do, but then I need a chair. That's better than the stairs or the boot remover. In my classes, I come with a boot remover. Came with a boot remover. No, I will turn. So, you know, you go down with your heel and you feel the pull, Achilles tendon, knee, back, knee. That feels really good. And because after my last operation in February, I felt not good walking stairs. I can't walk stairs, but I can walk those. They are very good. And I have always, now I walk better. My Achilles tendon is loose again. Now I'm really finished.
Thank you, Christa. Just before we're between doing lunch, so we're going to make this quick, but we do have a draw for 2 sets of Finnish walking poles. So I'll hand it to you, Marie.
Thank you. Okay, so anybody that has their name in the basket at the front, well, we now have the basket back here. 2 lucky winners will be presented with a set of walking poles. Columbia Basin Trust has graciously funded these for us. And with the purchase, or with the poles, comes 2 1-hour sessions with Christa. Kim, would you like to draw some names, please?
I might need a drum roll.
And the first name is Georgie. And the second name is... Drum roll, please. John Grogan. Congratulations to our winners. Thank you very much, Christa. That was very, very informative.